What's going on, guys? It's New York Prepper here, and I'm back on the range again shooting my 500 Magnum. Today we got the Hornady 500 grain XTP soft point, and what we're going to try to do is we're going to see if we can't penetrate through 5 2x10s, and my guess is we will, but it may take a couple of shots because when I did my last penetration test, the bullet got stuck inside of the 5th board and it almost exited the 5th board. So I want to see if we can't get a complete pass through with the 500 grain Smith & Wesson Model 500 Hornady XTP. If we can't pass through 5 boards. All right, so got the camera set up and hope you enjoy the video. All right, guys, you may notice me shooting with a glove on, and the only reason I'm doing that is because I cut my finger last week, and I don't want to cut my finger open even more from the recoil, so I'm going to use a glove just so I don't reopen a cut on my hand from the recoil. All right, so here we go. Let's see what happens here. See if we can't penetrate. All right, guys, no pass through on the first one, but it was pretty cool to see that wood just fly off like it was a rag doll just from that energy of the bullet. So I'm going to hit it again and let's see what happens. All right, still no pass through. I'm going to hit it one more time. All right, guys, the third shot still didn't pass through, but there's a little split in the back. I'm going to take 2 more shots and see if it will blow through. All right, guys, so the first 4 shots did not pass through, but the fourth shot cracked the wood in the back, and the 5th shot passed through that crack. So my first shot was down here, I think, and then I took 4 shots all in the same area, and the 4th and 5th shot I purposely shot in the same location, so this way we could try to get a pass through. And look at that, guys. So the 4th shot split the wood, and then the 5th shot blew out this big hole here. Look at this. Just look at the size of that big split in the back. All right, that's absolutely insane. So the 4th shot gave it a nice crack, and then the 5th shot passed through. All right, so look at this giant hole. I mean, you could feel the heat when I put my finger in there. But I mean, that's just a monster hole. I mean, look at how big that hole is. It's crazy. And you could actually see some of the other shots I took split the wood here. All right, so that was pretty cool. So it definitely has a hard time passing through the 5th board, which kind of corroborates my first test where it got stuck in the 5th board. So the only way you can pass through 5 boards is if you hit 2 shots in the same area and split the wood, and then it'll get it out. So, but guys, that's just a Hornady soft point. So, I mean, still for a soft point, that's very impressive. You know, you're looking at, you know, 10 inches of wood here. All right, this is 10 inches of wood. So that's a lot of wood. And the 44 Magnum bare load with hard casts could also penetrate 4. So the 500 Magnum XTP 500 grain Hornady can penetrate the same amount of wood as a 44 Magnum 300 grain hard cast bare load. All right, that's pretty impressive. So I mean, any living creature would not want to get hit by something like that. Those giant 500 grain slugs. So all right, guys, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to take this home. I'm going to take it apart. I'm going to pull the bullets out, and we're going to weigh the bullets and see what kind of weight retention these big 500 grain Hornady XTP soft points had. All right, so stick around. All right, guys, so I'm back home now, and I took apart the boards, and I want to go through each board with you so you could see the destruction that was caused by the Hornady 500 grain XTP bullet. All right, so here's some 3 bullets that I recovered. I took 5 shots. All right, these 2 right here, these 2 shots right here are from my hard cast bullets that I shot when I was doing the pumpkin test with the cinder block. Okay, so don't pay attention to these 2. All right, I took 5 shots. I took 1 here, and then I took 4 over here. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and I shot 2 in the same hole because I was trying to penetrate through the wood. All right, if you guys remember, the 4th shot that I took cracked the wood, and then the 5th shot blew out the back. Okay, and I'll show you that up close now so you can see. But so here are the 3 bullets that I recovered. The other 2 exited out the back. So 2 bullets exited and 3 stayed inside the wood. So here's the one that had the least amount of deformation, and this one was stuck in the 4th board, almost penetrated the 4th board. And then these two guys right here, all right, you could see how how mangled they are. These guys got stuck actually in 3.5 boards, which was interesting. And I wonder if they actually hit a knot or something in the wood, which would explain why this one isn't as mushroomed or, you know, deformed as these guys are. Look at how the jacket peeled back and the lead came out of the core more on this one. All right, on these 2 guys, these were stuck in the 3rd board, almost penetrated 3 boards. All right, I think they probably hit a knot. Okay, so but you could see how they still, the core and the jacket still didn't separate, which is a good sign. And I'm going to actually weigh these for you guys and take some measurements, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to weigh these bullets, see how much weight retention there was. I did find some chunks of lead you know, inside of the second and third board and fourth board. Okay, here's a good sized chunk of lead. All right, but this one right here, this one got stuck in the fourth board, almost penetrated the fourth board. It was like 4.5 boards. Okay, and you could see this nice mushroom. This is what you want to see in a soft point bullet. You see how it's not excessively peeled back. The jacket is not excessively peeled back. You know, it has a good uniform expansion. Okay, you know, this will create a nice big wound channel versus something like this. You know, this one's a little bit more deformed. Okay, this must have hit a knot or something. All right, so I'm going to analyze these in closer detail. So stay tuned for that. All right, so I'm going to go through each board now and show you guys how it looked like through the boards. So this is the first board. All right, this is the back of the first board. You can see that they all penetrated. All right, you can see those exit holes there. Okay, not much expansion yet in the first board. All right, now going into the second board, you can see there's some expansion happening here. All right, you can see over here you have you know, some expansion over here, which actually cracked the wood. You can see that the wood is actually split over here. Okay, you can see on the top of the board here it's split. All right, so this is the second board. They all went through the second board. All right, see if I can't show you guys a little bit closer here. Okay, so second board, they all penetrated. The third board is where we first started to see some of the slugs getting stuck, and you could really start to see the expansion. All right, look at these giant holes here. Okay, once that 500 grain soft point started to expand, look at those big holes. All right, I could literally put my fingers in those holes. Okay, this is going to create a massive amount of damage to soft tissue. Okay, you know, this is absolutely monstrous. These holes are huge. All right, look at this hole right here. Look at how big this hole is. All right, you're looking at a 1 inch wide hole. Okay, absolutely monstrous hole. All right, now the back of the third board, you could really see the massive exit holes here. Look at this, guys. I could fit my thumb in this hole. Okay, all right, look at that. This is absolutely monstrous exit holes here. Okay, and so two of the bullets, the two that I showed you that were deformed, they got stuck in this board here. I think one I peeled out of this hole. It was like halfway out here, and another one was here. Okay, so the two deformed bullets that I just showed you guys, one was in this hole right here. It was halfway sticking out, and the other one was in this hole halfway sticking out. All right, I think that they hit a knot somewhere. There must have been like a little small knot that maybe slowed them down a little bit more than the others. All right, you could see the dent, the big dent in the fourth board. Here's the fourth board. You see the big dent that one of those bullets left in the fourth board. All right, look at how big that dent is. That's absolutely monstrous. All right, and here's another dent right here. Whoops. Here's another dent right here. Okay, look at this. I mean, this thing is huge. Look at how big this dent in the wood is. All right. All right, look at that. It's as big as my thumb. All right. So those are the two that didn't penetrate the third board. They went through like 3.5. They got stopped by the fourth board, but they made a pretty nasty dent. And then we still have 3 bullets that are still traveling through the wood. 2 of them exited out of this hole. These are the 2 that I shot in the same hole. And then one over here got stuck in the back of the fourth board right here. Okay. And it left a good sized dent in the fifth board. All right, this is the fifth board here. You can see that's the dent from this one bullet, the bullet that I just showed you guys that had that nice even mushroom. All right, it exited out here and it left this big dent right there. Okay, So 4.5 boards for that one, and then the other 2 bullets exited out the 5th board. All right, but one thing I want to show you is the on the back of the 4th board. Look at this big exit hole here. I mean, this is crazy. Look at that. All right, that's absolutely insane. So here's the 5th board now, and you know, the board was actually split here. Okay, but you know, right here is this is where the two that I shot into the same hole, they blew out of this hole right here, and you can see the massive wood that they displaced a lot of wood here. Okay, they split the whole piece of wood, and they removed the whole chunk of wood out. All right. So, you know, and these 2 holes right here, these are from the hard cast, from the 440 grain hard cast. And when I did that other experiment where I shot through the block, and then I tried to see if I could get through the block, and then the 5 boards, it didn't go through the wood at all. But these are from the hard cast, so don't pay attention to that. But look at this big chunk of wood that got blown out, you know, by that big 500 grain soft point, you know, which mushroomed up to a massive size. So stay tuned, guys, and I'm going to weigh the bullets and take some measurements, and we'll see what kind of weight retention we got. So stick around for that. All right, guys, I'm back on my reloading bench here. I got my scale, and we're going to weigh these bad boys here. Just want to show you a up-close look at these bullets now under some better lighting. All right, so here we have the 2 bullets that got stuck in the 3rd board, almost penetrated the 3rd board. Look at how the jacket just peeled back so extremely. You know, so I'm curious to see how much weight these guys retain. They must have hit a knot of some kind. So it'll be interesting to see what these guys do. All right, but there was no jacket separation, which I was pleased to see. You can see that the jacket is still, the core and the jacket are still together. Okay, even though it's an extreme amount of expansion. You know, but the jacket did not separate here. All right, you can see that XTP jacket is pretty thick. It's got a good thickness to it. You know, look at how thick that jacket is. Okay. All right, so here's one of them, and you know, I'm not going to bust out the calipers because, you know, you can take a guess. It's probably going to be about 3/4 of an inch of expansion here. Here's the other one. Okay. All right, I'll just give you guys a look at it there. All right, look at how that lead just rolled back all the way down to the base of the bullet there. It's pretty cool. So I definitely think it must have hit something, because you could see here the marks in the lead. You know, I think that maybe there was some kind of a knot in the wood. All right, but that just tells you that, you know, it's a soft point bullet, so it's made to expand, you know. It's not made for penetration. It's made for tissue displacement and expansion. So this would definitely not be my first choice against a grizzly bear, for defense against a bear. But, you know, because if it hit a bone, you know, if this bullet hit a bone, it would definitely not hold together. I mean, just like a little knot, you could see what a little bit of a knot did to the bullet. So if this bullet hit like a shoulder bone of a bear, there's no guarantee that it would penetrate through that bone. You know, it would probably open up or shed a lot of its weight, disintegrate maybe, or the core would separate from the jacket. But, you know, for thin-skinned game, like deer or elk or moose, you know, this would be acceptable. You know, it wouldn't be my first choice for bear defense or bear hunting. Depending on how you hit the bear, again, you can see the extreme amount of expansion. So, you know, there's a chance that you won't penetrate through the bone, and you'll give the bear a nasty flesh wound, you know, but you're not going to hit any vital areas, and it's just going to make the bear more mad. But, you know, I've never actually tested this on a bear, so I can't really say. That's just my speculation. All right. And here's the other bullet. This was the one that penetrated through 4.5 boards, and you can see this one had more even expansion. You know, there's the base right there. You could see the jacket didn't peel back as much as the others. So that's why I'm thinking that those other two probably hit a knot or something in the wood. Maybe there was a screw in the wood, or who knows, you know. But you can see that nice mushroom. Okay, it's a perfect mushroom there. All right, look at that that massive lead core. All right, look at all this lead in the middle here. You know, this is an absolutely monstrous amount of lead. I mean, this is just devastating. This would have a devastating wound. I mean, just look at how massive that bullet is in my hand. And I don't have small hands, you know. I have big, above average hands. But it mushroomed up nicely. It did what it was supposed to do. It's a soft point, you know. It's not a penetrator. All right, so now we're going to zero out my reloading scale. And let's see if we can weigh these guys and see what kind of weight retention they had. So stand by. I'm going to zero my scale out. All right, we got our 100-gram weight here, and we're going to zero the scale, make sure it's zeroed out. And it says pass, so that means that we're good to go. And, you know, you can always double check if you wish. 99.99. Okay, I'm going to switch to grains now. We're going to start with the more expanded ones and see what happened with those. So I'm pretty impressed, actually. 465 grains, that's really good. That's really good, actually, considering the amount of expansion on this bullet. I'm very impressed at how much weight it retained for a soft point. I mean, that's pretty impressive. You know, a lot of guys, they criticize Hornady bullets, but every Hornady XTP, whether it's my 44 Magnum or my 500 Smith & Wesson, every XTP bullet that I've ever recovered from these penetration tests had extremely high weight retention, and they didn't shed a lot of mass, really. You know, look, so 465 grains, you know, you guys can do the math, but that tells me all I need to know. They're probably looking at about 90% weight retention. Here we got this other one here. Let's see what happened with this one. This one lost some mass, 437 grains. I mean, you're still looking at, you know, what is that, 80% weight retention, 90% weight retention or so. I'd have to do math, but that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. Yeah, you're probably looking at, I would say, 80-something% weight retention on this one. So, you know, those Hornady XTP bullets are, you know, they perform, guys. They perform. As long as you're not using them on a large bear or some kind of thick-skinned game, you know, they're going to work. And then finally, we have this one. This one's 482 grains, so that's very good. Let's weigh it again. 482. We'll just weigh it one more time. 482. All right. So we had really good weight retention with these bullets here. I'm very impressed. 465 grains, 437 grains, and 482 grains out of 500 grains. That's very, very good. All right. So thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned to my channel for more 500 Smith & Wesson penetration tests, reloading, shooting, anything related to 500 Smith & Wesson. I'm going to be your source for that. I'm going to be doing a lot of videos with this firearm. I'm planning a vacation to Montana soon, so I'm going to be doing some bear defense drills to prepare myself for when I go hiking with the 500 Magnum. So I'll film some of those for you guys and give you some of my tips and tricks on how to prepare yourself for a bear attack with a pistol and how to train for that. It's a little bit different than training it for a concealed carry or urban defense scenario. Bears are a lot different than people, so I'm going to film a video on that. So if you like the video, hit the thumbs up button and stay tuned for more videos related to 500 Smith & Wesson and many other big bore calibers. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care. God bless. And don't forget the 3 Ps. Prepare, practice, and persevere.